In this engaging conversation with Mel Robbins, a range of impactful topics unfolds, including practical morning routines to overcome inertia, managing anxiety through neuroscience-based mindset shifts, navigating resistance in pursuing big projects, conducting personal life audits to prepare for meaningful change, and recognizing authentic connection in romantic relationships. Mel shares personal experiences and actionable advice on thriving emotionally, professionally, and relationally, while weaving in insights from credible experts and scientific research. Mel starts by describing a unique coping tool called the slithering technique, which she employs to get out of bed on difficult mornings, especially after nights of indulgence or emotional upheaval. This method involves literally sliding off a high bed, rolling on the floor, and using movement to release emotional stuckness or grief that weighs down the body. Derived from somatic practices, it helps bypass the struggle against gravity and internal resistance, gently coaxing oneself into action. Mel reflects on how crucial this is during challenging life transitions, such as moving from a longtime family home, which for her was a source of deep sadness and adjustment difficulties. This technique exemplifies the importance of honoring the body's emotional state while still fostering movement forward. Shifting focus, Mel emphasizes that maintaining a positive and productive mental state is a skill that requires purposeful effort, especially in a world fraught with negativity, division, and uncertainty. She advocates for treating one's energy as a valuable currency and adopting the mindset of leaders bring the weather, meaning that individuals set the tone for their environment and interactions. Mel rejects toxic positivity while underscoring robust neuroscience that reveals how energy governs one's ability to navigate stress, anxiety, and life's unpredictable moments. Rather than succumbing to internal storms or letting anxious thoughts spiral, she encourages intentionally managing one's energy to remain a calming, sunny presence, even amid hardship. Delving deeper into anxiety, Mel shares insights from neuroscientist Dr. Russell Kennedy, who reframes anxiety fundamentally as a form of separation anxiety, not from other people, but from oneself. This separation occurs when the mind detaches from the present moment and self-trust, leading to overwhelming what-if scenarios that amplify distress. Anxiety, Mel explains, is a natural alarm signaling care about uncertain outcomes, whether in job interviews, relationships, finances, or broader existential concerns like AI's impact on employment. The physiological experience of anxiety mirrors excitement, with identical bodily responses such as heart pounding, sweating, and butterflies in the stomach. The difference lies in the intellectual labeling and mental narrative one applies to these sensations. Mel highlights research that instructs people to consciously reframe anxiety as excitement, thereby transforming the energy from debilitating fear into empowering readiness. This simple linguistic shift, combined with grounding anchor thoughts, vividly imagining positive post-event scenarios, helps settle the alarm and improve performance in high-stakes situations. Building on the above, Mel describes how these mindset tools can apply to daily scenarios like public speaking, flying, or business presentations. Through intentional verbal affirmations, "I'm excited," visualization of enjoyable, anticipated experiences, and anchoring oneself in controllable aspects, individuals can mitigate panic and remain functional. By guarding against the natural impulse to catastrophize and instead replenishing mental stability, people gain resilience and mastery over recurring stressors. She underscores the importance of setting a clear priority before checking one's phone, as immediate exposure to social media and notifications often hijacks attention and inserts others' urgencies into one's day. Mel contrasts this reactive mode with proactive, purposeful intention to focus on one significant task, thereby establishing control and driving progress. This intentionality is central to maintaining positive energy and preventing overwhelm. Mel details her disciplined morning approach as foundational to sustaining personal well-being amid a demanding career and family life. The routine includes waking with the alarm, making the bed, even in hotel rooms, prioritizing mindful reflection on the day's most important task, light exercise, and connecting with loved ones. She advocates for the effectiveness of small but consistent actions, such as dedicating 15 minutes daily, the Hot 15, toward advancing meaningful goals. This helps overcome procrastination and resistance by breaking down intimidating projects into manageable increments. She acknowledges that not every morning is perfect, and that strategies like the slithering technique provide alternative ways to meet those days' challenges with grace. Overall, these habits foster groundedness, intention, and momentum that ripple into professional and personal success. When confronted with a large, important project, Mel acknowledges the common experience of procrastination fueled by internal resistance. She interprets resistance as an indicator of imminent transformation, signaling a gap between current identity and the demands of new growth. The discomfort around starting or pushing through signals meaningful change, and instead of avoidance, one should honor and move through the resistance. Mel also reframes feelings of cringe, embarrassment, or vulnerability as necessary milestones marking progress, especially in creative and public endeavors. Willingness to look imperfect or cringy is the price of entry into success, particularly when confronting new challenges like launching a book, podcast, or business. Embracing this discomfort is crucial to sustained forward movement. In preparing for intentional change, Mel advises conducting a mindful audit of the previous year by reviewing photos, calendar events, and personal reflections to identify what brought joy, growth, or lessons versus what no longer serves. This process avoids the common pitfall of rushing into resolutions without data and awareness. Through this reflection, individuals can decide what behaviors, commitments, or thought patterns to stop, start, or continue, thereby aligning efforts with authentic priorities. Mel models this approach by sharing changes she made herself, like halting most speaking engagements to reclaim time and energy, starting resistance training aligned with female physiology, and investing more care into emotional regulation at work. Addressing love and partnership, Mel shares candid perspectives on how to discern whether a relationship holds potential for long-term success. She emphasizes that the one always has potential, but intentional openness and active engagement with life outside dating apps are imperative. Real connection emerges when individuals live their fullest lives, including hobbies and communities, and remain open to meeting others organically. Mel cautions against perfectionism and superficial criteria, underscoring instead qualities that sustain enduring bonds. Loyalty, kindness, long-term friendships, and respectful communication are far more important than physical appearance or quirks. She highlights research from the Gottman Institute revealing that irreconcilable conflicts persist in most relationships, but healthy couples learn to argue constructively and maintain connection despite disagreements. A crucial sign of a healthy relationship is a partner who serves as home base, where one can be authentic, relax, and find emotional refuge. Conversely, relationships that shrink one's world, dim personal values or dreams, or provoke withdrawal from friends and family are warning signs. Mel reinforces that compromise should not entail sacrificing core dreams or values, as such trade-offs inevitably cause resentment and breakdown. Mel points out the role family can play in recognizing shifts in a person when they are in an unhealthy relationship. Families who care deeply can often see subtle behavioral changes, such as withdrawal or loss of self, providing early warning signals. A healthy partner's presence expands one's life, bringing support and growth, whereas toxic dynamics create isolation. She models this with personal reflections on her long-term marriage, crediting her spouse's early support of her ambitions and authenticity. This foundation allowed her to thrive personally and professionally. Mel affirms that love often involves tolerating annoyances and imperfections, but doing so alongside genuine care and respect. Mel closes with a powerful framework for goal setting, emphasizing the importance of singular, focused intentions over multiple competing resolutions. Concentrating on one meaningful area, be it health, finances, or relationships, maximizes the likelihood of sustained change. She encourages the integration of a consistent morning routine as a touchstone to maintain alignment and mental clarity. Through incremental steps and daily commitment, individuals can chip away at even large transformational goals. Mel reminds listeners that personal mentors abound in unexpected places, from acclaimed biographies of figures like Andre Agassi and Michelle Obama to everyday people who model excellence in ordinary roles. The conversation also touches on financial literacy and planning as essential lifelong skills, especially for women navigating systemic challenges such as wage gaps, career breaks, and unforeseen health crises. Mel shares her own journey of overcoming debt and instituting stewardship over her wealth through conservative investments and knowledge acquisition. She highlights the importance of adopting a long-term perspective on money, referencing influential voices in the space like Tony Robbins and David Bach. This financial empowerment aligns with broader themes of emotional mastery and intentional living, enabling individuals to build security and peace of mind. Throughout the dialogue, Mel interweaves a sentiment that transcends achievement. The true value of life lies in meaningful relationships, authenticity, and the quality of time shared with loved ones. Success is measured not only by books sold or milestones reached, but by the legacy of love, presence, and pride in the person one chooses to be. She expresses gratitude that her major successes came later in life, allowing her to appreciate change and growth with deeper context. Mel invites listeners to reflect on their own journeys with compassion and encourages them to strive for lives marked by joy, connection, and intentionality.